What if true change isn't about learning something new, but about no longer being who you once were? What if what Jesus said about being born again wasn't just a religious metaphor, but a deep inner path to begin again? Maybe it's not about changing your job, your clothes, or your habits. Maybe it's about dying to be born again, physically, internally, spiritually. Jesus didn't talk about self-improvement. He didn't say, adjust your attitude, fix your mood, try harder, said you must be born again. When Nicodemus asked how a grown man could return to the womb, Jesus replied, that which is born of the flesh is flesh. That which is born of the Spirit is spirit. And he added, no one pours new wine into old wineskins. That you can't receive something new with the structure of the old. It's not about adjusting. It's about transforming. A change of container, a change of mind. Today, we know that this kind of change is possible. Not just spiritual, but neurological. The brain is not a stone, it's a river. It molds, it rewires. What you think, say, and imagine physically rewires your brain. If you visualize yourself responding differently, breathing differently, acting with peace or purpose, your brain begins to build new connections. It doesn't fully distinguish between reality and intention. That's called reprogramming. Jesus called it renewing the mind. Maybe they were speaking of the same thing. There are things you do, and you don't know why. You walk like your father. You react like your mother, or you get angry like someone you never even met. Where does it come from? From stories that were never told, but were lived. From emotions that were never spoken, but got passed on. From patterns someone started. And you're repeating without knowing it. In the book of Exodus, it says that the sins of the parents are passed down to the third and fourth generation. Maybe they used the word sin because they didn't have another one. But today we know, not everything is guilt. Sometimes it's unresolved pain. Silence is inherited like old furniture, ways of living that were never questioned. But this isn't about blaming the past. It's about healing it, about breaking repetition, about making a generational shift. It's not to destroy, but to repair what came flawed from the factory. Because we're not broken, every inherited fault is an opportunity, a crack where the light can come in. The scripture says, in my weakness, his power is made perfect. It's turning wounds into transformation. That too is being born again. Jesus said it through symbols. Science shows it through brain scans. But the message is the same. You can change. And you don't need a miracle. You need a yes. Quiet, internal yes. A daily act of faith. Picture the version of yourself you want to become. Begin to act as if you already were that person. Breathe like him, speak like her. Respond like the version of you that's still forming. Because the brain doesn't fully distinguish between intention and reality. And if you do it with honesty, it's not pretending. It's becoming. It's not about faking who you're not. It's about beginning to live who you could become. Being born again isn't returning to the womb. It's returning to the soul. It's breaking the pattern. It's choosing to create. And if Jesus said it 2,000 years ago, and science confirms it today, then maybe there are no excuses. Maybe today's the day of your new birth.